The door slammed shut behind him. Darkness swallowed the room. No windows. No escape. Just the sound of his own breathing, fast, uneven, afraid. Joseph leaned back against the cold stone wall, trying to steady himself. This wasn't how it was supposed to happen. Years ago, he had dreamed of greatness, of leadership, of purpose, of something God-given. He saw sheaves bowing, stars aligning. He believed it meant something. But now? He was a slave-turned-prisoner. Falsely accused. Forgotten. Betrayed by people he trusted. Again. He slid down the wall and sat on the hard ground. "God, what are you doing?" he whispered into the silence. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. Months into years. But something strange happened in that prison. Joseph didn't grow bitter. He served. He helped others. Listened. Interpreted dreams. Earned trust, even in chains. Then one morning, everything changed. Footsteps rushed down the corridor. The prison door burst open. "Joseph! Get up! Pharaoh is calling for you." Joseph blinked, stunned. Pharaoh? The most powerful man in Egypt? Within hours, he stood in a palace, clean, dressed, but still carrying the weight of every year behind him. Pharaoh spoke urgently. "I've had dreams. No one can explain them." Joseph took a breath. This was it. Not his moment. God's. "I cannot do it," Joseph said. "But God will give Pharaoh the answer." And he did. 7 years of plenty. 7 years of famine. A warning, and a plan. The room fell silent. Then Pharaoh stood. "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" Before the day ended, Joseph, the prisoner, was made ruler over Egypt, second only to Pharaoh himself. From the pit, to the prison, to the palace. Years later, when the famine came, his brothers stood before him, the very ones who had sold him into slavery. They didn't recognize him. But he recognized them. The moment hung heavy with memory. Betrayal. Pain. Loss. Joseph could have taken revenge. Instead, he said the words that revealed everything. "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." And in that moment, the story made sense. The pit wasn't the end. The prison wasn't wasted. God had been writing something bigger all along. Commentary note. This story from Genesis 37 to 50 highlights God's sovereignty in the midst of suffering. Joseph's life demonstrates that circumstances do not define God's purpose. Even betrayal and injustice were used to position him for future impact. The central biblical principle is that God can redeem what was meant for harm and use it for good in ways we may not immediately understand. Historical note. Joseph's story takes place in ancient Egypt during the Middle Bronze Age, approximately 1800 to 1700 BC. Egypt was a powerful and highly structured civilization, making Joseph's rise from prisoner to second in command especially significant. The famine described in Genesis aligns with known cycles of agricultural instability in the ancient Near East. The events are recorded in Genesis 37 to 50, with narrative details expanded for clarity and storytelling flow while remaining faithful to the biblical account.